everyone, it's Heather here, and I just wanted to pop in today and just share a little bit with you about gut health, because it is a really important thing, obviously, to our overall health. Not just does it affect our gut, but there's a lot of research that shows the connection between our gut health and our brain health. And so I just wanted to share a few little strategies with you of things that we can do that can make a difference, in particular to our gut health and then of course our overall health. And so things that might indicate that our gut health is perhaps not 100% is we might be suffering from things like bloating, constipation, diarrhea. We might get stomach pains after we eat. We might have a lot of gas. Those kind of situations are an indication that maybe the balance in our gut is not quite how it should be. And so today I want to just share a few things that we can do to help improve that and hopefully to eventually heal it so that it's no longer an issue. And so, of course, with our 5-day Slimdown Kickstart program, part of what we're doing in that program, of course, is fasting. And fasting is really, really good for healing the gut, because as you can imagine, there's a period of time where there's no food going into our system, and so that allows the digestive system to actually look at, okay, what other things can I do? Now is an opportunity to heal. I don't have food that I need to digest. I can, really get to work and actually start healing. Perhaps if there's some leaky gut issues. I apologise. I have a cat and a dog here, and they're literally fighting like cats and dogs. But yeah, so it's an opportunity when we're fasting for the body to look at, okay, what healing can take place. And also, it's an opportunity for the body to look at the microbes that are in there, like this little colony that we have in our gut, and to look at the ones that aren't working effectively, the ones that aren't serving the body, and actually get rid of those. And so our microbiome in the gut, it has a lot to do with, we might experience cravings, and that's because of the environment of our microbiome. We might suffer from anxiety. Again, that comes down to the microbiome that's actually in our gut. And so things that we can do to make that healthy and have the healthy ones replenish are really, really important. And of course, just something I do want to mention too, for anyone that has been on any courses of antibiotics, that really goes in and it does destroy the microbiome. And so what we want to do is we want to replenish the good and get rid of the bad, which is the ultimate goal with what we do with our gut health. And so one of the other challenges that I want to give you, which I think is something that even I could do, in our 5-day Slimdown Kickstart guide, we have a list of lots and lots of foods and spices and different things that we can actually eat while we're on the program. And what I would like to put the challenge out to everyone is to actually print that list out and go through and circle foods or spices or things that you don't normally eat, and actually start trying to incorporate over the next few weeks more and more of the things that you normally wouldn't eat into your diet, because we know that food diversity also is really, really good for our microbiome, our gut health. And like I know for myself, sometimes I can get into a routine of eating similar things or the same things, day in, day out. I might have the same thing for lunch all week. So the idea is to sort of look at how can we switch things up to give our bodies as much diversity in the food that we're eating, so that can then help us to have a diverse microbiome in our gut, so that everything is working then more efficiently. And even just with, spices that we might not normally use, herbs, those types of things can really make a difference. Like just even with a salad as an example, like putting in a few things, herbs, like coriander, or things that we wouldn't normally eat, because, you know, it's easy just to mix a few, you know, salad leaves and a bit of tomato, cucumber, but just really sort of looking at how can I incorporate different things into the foods that I'm eating to then give that diversity to my gut health. So that's just a little challenge I thought I'd put out there, because I really think it is interesting when we look at what we are eating, that we can sort of just stick to the things we know and the things that are easy and the things we can prepare in a hurry, and we don't oftentimes get a lot of diversity. So that's just a little challenge for you. An interesting story that I heard this week that I thought I will share, because when we look at the way that fermented foods also work with our gut, so that's just another thing to look at. And we suggest, of course, the sauerkraut and the kimchi and those types of things in our food list. And that was not something that I really had a lot of in my diet until I started to learn how much these things benefit our gut health. But an interesting story, just getting back to this story, when the big American food chains went around the world with their fast food, you know, some of those big names that we don't need to mention, but we know that they're not exactly good health options, but they've, you know, franchises have taken over the world. And a really interesting thing that came out of that, of course, was that, you know, the obesity levels, you know, started to get higher and higher, and more people were getting overweight because of these fast foods that were so convenient but had no nutritional value in them. And this particular story was that when these big corporations the fast food corporations went into Korea, the Korean people didn't have the same challenges with their weight gain and obesity, because when you went to one of these places, because of their culture, they serve kimchi with their meals. Now, kimchi is a fermented combination of, you know, wonderful vegetables, and it's been fermented, so it's got great, you know, probiotics and great bacteria in it. And it's fantastic for the gut, and generally they will eat that before they consume, you know, whatever it is that they're eating. And so even with these fast food places, they were serving little containers of kimchi with the, you know, whatever horrible fast food that it was. And it was making a real difference in that they noticed that people weren't putting on as much weight. So that is a great illustration of how that if we have that healthy gut bacteria and microbiome, that our body can deal with whatever it is coming at it. Now, I'm not suggesting, of course, that you consume kimchi and then go out and have a, you know, a terrible, disgusting meal. But it's just really, really interesting how that food does really affect our bodies. And if we can put as much good stuff into our bodies, then our microbiome will respond in kind and actually be so much healthier and be able to digest and process things so much better. So that's just thank you, Marie-France, amazing kimchi. That's a little shout out to kimchi. So if that's something that you haven't actually explored before, then, you know, just look at labels is my only warning when it comes to, you know, sauerkraut, kimchi, those types of things, because you want to be getting one that doesn't have added sugar to it, because, you know, or just small amounts of sugar, if any, because we don't want to be then undoing our good work by consuming lots of, you know, large amounts of sugar. But there are some really great brands out there. There's, you know, one of our favourites is actually a vegan one. So just sort of look at your different brands. And for those of you who aren't sort of aware of it, like a great Asian supermarket, some of the supermarkets actually will have kimchi. The one that we've been using we get from Coles. So just kind of look, if it's not something you've used before, you've probably never come across it, or you've never looked for it, so you don't even know that it exists. So you know, that's just another thing to consider with looking at diversity in our diet. And of course, we can't not talk about our amazing supplements and what a difference that they make as well to the microbiome. And there's lots of great studies out there, the connection between what's happening in our gut and how that affects our brain, as far as, you know, anxiety, foggy thinking, you know, all the connection. Like, the body is really amazing, and everything is connected to each other. So looking at our overall health, there's things that we can definitely do to assist us and actually make us feel better. But getting back to our amazing supplements that we have, so part of our program, we are suggesting that you incorporate the phyto greens. Now, this is a wonderful product in so many ways, but in particular today, of course, I want to talk to you about how that it's so great for our microbiome and balancing out the microbiome, like giving us such a broad range of all those wonderful green leafy veggies that even if we are trying to eat as many things as possible, we're not getting on a daily basis. So just one scoop of that is absolutely fantastic, and it assists with our digestion. It assists with balancing the microbiome. So, you know, we're leaps ahead because we've got that great product in our program as well. Of course, I have to talk about the minerals, one of my absolute favourite products. The minerals, again, is helping us with our digestion. Especially here in Australia, we are so fortunate to have the natural mineral drink, that all those wonderful you know, ingredients that have been provided by nature for us, which are so good for our digestion. So, you know, if you've eaten something and you're not actually feeling that great, of course, we've got our digestive enzymes as a product as well, but even just having a dose of the natural mineral drink can just kind of help with that whole digestive process and just settle things down and actually make you feel better. And having said that too, just a thought comes to mind, of course, the natural mineral drink. We've had great results for people that have experienced really bad heartburn after eating something just hasn't agreed with them, and just having a dose of the natural mineral drink will just soothe everything. So if you can imagine that there's that experience is happening up here, what's it doing in our digestive system, in our intestines, and to all that microbiome that's down there? It's just feeding it, supporting it, and, you know, giving it love, which is what we want to do so it's as healthy as possible. And of course, we have our probiotic product, which is part of our program that we're suggesting that, you know, you take that on a daily basis. And in particular, if you have gut issues, one of the things we heard when this product was first launched by the gentleman who launched it was that if you have particular issues that you want to address with your gut, that you take a sachet, so like there's a double sachet, you mix those together, and you can have it in, we just have it in water, put it in a jar with some water, put the lid on, give it a good shake so it mixes well, but you can even just stir it with a teaspoon. It mixes really, really well. Or you can have it in milk, or, you know, mix it in some yogurt, those types of things. But having one complete dose of that per day for 6 weeks is a great way to actually start to get that really good microbiome going in your gut, to start healing and start, you know, cleaning things up down there. And then after the 6 weeks passes, you can then go on to the maintenance dose, which is one every second day. Now, that's if you know that you've got particular issues you want to address. Yeah, obviously with the program, with our 5-day Slimdown Kickstart, we're suggesting that you have one, you know, every day for the 5 days, and then you go on to every second day. But we've got lots of other things in here as well that's supporting us. And of course, we're doing the fasting, which is giving our digestive system a rest and then the opportunity for it to heal. And then we're also looking at, you know, good quality food and a diverse range of food that's also supporting all of that as well.